So somebody back in 1994 wrote about how bad this Child Protective Services is. Yes, I don't know who Brenda Scott is, but Brenda Scott, in her 1994 book, Out of Control, Who's Watching Our Child Protection Agencies, criticizes CPS, stating Child Protective Services is out of control. And that was 1994. The system, as it operates today, should be scrapped. It absolutely should. If children are to be protected in their homes and in the system, radical new guidelines must be adopted. Yes, and those radical new guidelines need to be adopted by people that care. Experts can't fix this. Experts created this. At the core of the problem is the anti-family mindset of CPS. Interesting. I didn't know that. Well, it doesn't surprise me because Marxism, which is a religion, it's a death cult. It's all about destroying the nuclear family because, especially in America, that's huge. When you destroy enough of the nuclear family, you destroy the foundation we were founded on, thereby destroying freedom. Removal is the first resort, not the last. With insufficient checks and balances, the system that was designed to protect children has become the greatest predator of harm. Yes. So, here's the thing. This is why I bring up the experts so much, because that's all that mind control kind of thing that, because if you have to believe the Lancet, they're experts. So whatever somebody else is saying, it doesn't matter what they say. But common sense is more important with most of this. Had more people had common sense along the way, then I don't think we would have gotten here. So, most people that I worked with at that DCFS hospital, we all saw that, no, they're doing nothing to help the children. There's many people in the system that want to. But here's what I noticed. The people that ran Maryville, the board, the sister, the governors of your states, all those people at the top, what they really don't want is people to care about these children. Yeah, you will be deemed you just won't be liked by them. And I think that's why when I had that happen with the whole kid, the 15-year-old, I mean, it's common for hospitals. This came out when I was in front of the nursing board, because when I went to the nursing board, there's a lawyer that acts as a judge. You're just sitting at a table. But also in the room is another RN, not anybody you know. There's always an RN sitting in on those hearings. So this lawyer told me she was gonna, she didn't want it. You go in and really they just don't believe anything you say. They believe everything, whatever the hospital says. But in this case, we said this was targeting. I don't believe that. But the nurse that was sitting in on this said no. When they will go after people on a bargaining team. They will outright retaliate. They will set them up. Yeah. And she told me, she said, because they go and talk to each other and then they come back and tell you their ruling. It's not really a ruling. It's just their decision. And so when the lawyer came back in, she said, if this nurse hadn't told me that the hospitals do this kind of stuff, I never would have believed it. She's like, so it's end. We're done. Nothing more to talk about. But the way they targeted me, it wasn't like they would maybe target a nurse. Not that bad. This was bad. This was like, we want to destroy you. We want to destroy your, your career, your reputation. And I believe it was targeting me because they knew I did care. And so that's where the struggle comes in when you realize that. And they will say they want people that care, but the people running these places, they don't. Sister Kathy Ryan, the head of Maryville, doesn't care about any of those kids. Not one kid. She doesn't care about any human being. Okay? But neither did the chief nursing officer, none of these people, all these people that everybody thinks because they have all these degrees that they're the people to trust. No, the people you should trust are the people that care. Because people that care, those are the people that this would never happen. But this nightmare and many nightmares that we have going on right now in our country have been created by experts, Ivy League experts, Lancet experts that like to write papers, and yet half the time they write these peer-reviewed articles, and it makes it just, a common sense thing. You're reading it and you're like, this makes no sense at all. Like the logic is gone, but everybody's been trained. No, it's the Lancet. Everything they say is, yeah, it's because most of the time I read their stuff, not all of it, but I mean, I not all of it is whacked. But when it comes to mental health, the people at American Psychiatric Association, it's like, did you really have a psychology or psychiatrist license? Do you really? Because look, I know a lot of good psychiatrists, I do, and a lot of good nurse MPs, all that, people that want to help. But whoever's writing all this stuff is out of their minds. Because most of it is bullshit, what they write. They just make things worse, but then everybody at every healthcare system will believe it, and they don't even know they're not thinking. And what I see that is missing the most especially when it comes to these kids, is that they do not want people that care. That's why they will protect abusive people. I know it's crazy. It's hard to believe, but it's true. So I'm going to show an article that just came out. There's a couple of them, but I'm just going to show one of them. It just came out in the past 7 days, because about how it seems that the people at the top of the system of child protective services, they seem to want to always say safe. Leave the kid, like they have to write off safe to leave a kid in the home. And for all the home, and I've seen this over my career too, it's an ongoing problem that everything they sign off of is as safe, the child can stay in the home, then the child ends up dead by the parent. That happened in my neck of the woods many years ago. It was like less than 5 years ago. A 6-year-old was found in a shallow grave. He had went missing, and the parents tried to make out like they didn't know what happened to him. No, they did. The mother beat him in the shower. And what's really horrible about that, it made international news. But this mother's mother she was fostering this 6-year-old, and all because his mother was an opiate user, and all she had to do was show one urine test that was clean, and DCFS gave her the kid back, and he ended up dead. It's like they go out of their way. They go out of their way to put children in harm's way. But then they'll take kids out of the home that would be parents you could work with. So trigger warning, there's nothing gory about this. It's just the headline. DA's office denied CPS request to remove children 3 times before 1-year-old scalded and shot up with meth. And this is like a regular thing that happens. And it really is. It is. It happens all the time. Because it's not the people that are going to the home, that they're not you have to, tell whoever their people are whether we leave the kid or take the kid. That's why I would never be able to work for DCFS, because I would never, because what happens is then if they take the kids and they can't find placement, they'll just put them in an office or their office and then come back the next day. It's like I would be taking all the kids home. I'd be like, I'll work it out. I'm not leaving you in an office or putting you in a shelter. But a lot of these people are young. They don't have bad intentions. But it's the people higher up to them that they're reporting off to, and then they say safe, even though the police, everybody knows, no, this kid that died in my neck of the woods, police, the sheriffs were saying, get the kid out of the home. And he was. And then DCFS put him back in, and he ended up dead. So this is an ongoing problem, and until we get rid of experts, stop getting the experts in to solve it. In order to solve it, you need to get the people that actually care. They have the solutions, believe it or not.